up discussions, anything related to the self-love journey. And today the question is, what have you been living with? This is a really cool question because we were literally going through our outline for our workshop tonight. By the way, some of you have said that you were going to grab the last spot. We do have, we still have a spot left. So if you're interested, click on www.selfloveexodus.com, and the theme is unblocking your flow. So this question came up that you thought of. What have you been living with? Meaning, like, what have you been allowing to be living in your life that you haven't addressed yet? So we've been having some breakthroughs, and Hallie, you had a great share with me today. So I guess we'll segue with that. So
sure.
Hallie.
Yeah.
What have you been living with?
Yeah, and it's like really the question is like, what have you been living with that is not serving you, but it might be a problem that feels unsolvable to you at this moment, and so you just kind of carry on like enduring the pain of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll just share this problem that I've been living with, which is that I have 2 kitty cats.
So cute.
They're such cutie babies, but they're freaking bad at night, like really bad. And they keep me up a lot. They jump on my door and scratch at my door and meow, 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 meow. And they're just like jolting my nervous system like all throughout the night several times, especially as I'm going into sleep. And so I have this like, first of all, I'm just not getting the amount of sleep that I need. And I have not figured out the solution to this. It's also been such a restriction in so many ways, because even though we're not traveling right now, at some point I would like to travel and go on adventures and leave my apartment and have people staying at my apartment with my cats, but I can't put someone else through that.
Yes, it would make you feel good.
Absolutely
like, by
not.
the way, you might not get to sleep.
You're not going to sleep while you're here. I can't do that to anyone. And so it's been a huge, huge pain thing that I've been living with, and a block to my dreams and like my desires for what, things that I want to do in my life. And so, I've tried a lot of different things. I exercise them before bed. I feed them before bed. All kinds of things. Do we need to get your charger?
Oh my God, no, I did not. Hopefully it's fine.
Yeah.
Hi, Susan. Thank you for the super. You got a super heart award.
Oh, yay.
Yay, thank you.
So anyways, I've been more vocal about this with people in my life, especially new people that have come into my life who have a kind of like evolved perspective and consciousness that, that is different. And so anyways, I've been receiving clues and solutions to my problem that I'm starting to implement, and I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And let me just tell you, this has been 4 years. I've been sleep deprived for 4 years.
Wow.
Dealing with this pain, right?
Wow.
So it's a big deal, but what the bigger deal is the fact that I have been living with this problem for this amount of time, and it's a huge deal not getting the sleep that you need. We all know this. But and I'm someone that's always healing and growing and like wanting to live my best life, and I've been living with this. And so no one is above, right? Like living with a chronic issue that's just kind of like the thorn in your shoe that you're just like, I don't really know how to deal with this actually. So yeah, we're really, our workshop tonight is about really looking at those things.
Yes.
And starting to unpack them and what kinds of small adjustments can we make toward the bigger solutions that we need so that we don't have to live in these like states of chronic pain.
Right? Self-sabotaging, is that what we call it? And so yeah, I'm excited to see what comes up tonight, because maybe a blind spot will come through, right? Because we're actually going to be entering into a space to literally focus on that. And I love how like solutions, the light at the end of the tunnel, because you started talking about it, voicing out, and support has been coming in. What about this? What about that? You're like, I didn't even know this tool existed.
Didn't even know this existed. Didn't
So-
even know this was an option.
All cat owners, you know, connect with Allie. You know, you can help each other out, especially if you haven't been getting sleep at night
Yeah,
for your children.
yeah. What comes up for you with this one, Quinn?
I know I've been talking about social media a lot. I've been seeing, you know, and lately I've been seeing it creeping back. Hi from Los Angeles. Hi, Pablo on the HAPS team. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, we're asking, what have you been living with that's not serving you? What have you noticed? Another super hard on HAPS. We're on another app called HAPS, everybody on Instagram, and hi, everybody on Facebook also. Shout out to the community that we're connected to. Yeah. So, yeah, I like how you backtracked. Like, this has been going for 4 years, but you're just been kind of like, whatever, you know, focus on other things, right? We can only focus on what we're like super aware of first, and then it comes to this point. And I've been using social media a lot since like, I can't remember the year, but I want to say in like 2000. And that's like, I was always on these social apps, actually. I can recall MySpace. I can recall Friendster. I can recall like the beginning stages of Facebook and then Instagram. And I remember when I was younger, my sisters always complained about me being on the phone all the time. So like my relationship with my phone, let's just say my phone, connected to these social things, even before social media. Maybe it was just texting, waiting for my boyfriend to text me, right? So this relationship of basing my worth on somebody else's attention, whether it's social media or a person texting me back. And that has been starting at a very young age, since I got a phone. And I remember my parents gifted me my first phone, my first cell phone in senior year, and that is 2006. Okay, and how many years? That's like 15, 14 years. So like, wow, I've been living with a relationship with my phone as a way to feel self-worth.
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought up
I'm
self-worth.
done for the first time. I'm vocalizing this in more detail of the timeline.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and so like, wow, okay, I've been, so to answer the question, me, Quinn for the win, Quinn here, has been living with a relationship of self-worth through the phone, through communication through the phone. And so, yes, and since I started voice recording, I've been talking more about what my blocks are, and the more the same thing with you, the more that I've been vocalizing it to myself, I've been able to make these tweaks.
Yeah, so let's just tell the people like kind of what your practice is around this.
Yes.
So you, like while you're driving, right, you voice record, so you're talking to yourself instead of broadcasting it all.
Yes.
You're creating space where you're just having a conversation with yourself, because obviously expression and communicating and using your voice is how you process. And so you're finding ways to do that still where it is more intimate.
Yes. Right? I don't need to share everything. I mean, there's the relationship with your community on social, and then there's a relationship that you have with yourself. Like, and then hello, like we're over here about the self-love lifestyle and like preaching and teaching and coaching on self-love. So absolutely voice recording has helped me bring more of what's not working to light to myself.
Yeah.
Right? Like no one else is around telling me, hey Quinn, I haven't been in your blocks lately. Oh, social media? Let's talk about that. No one, okay? So you have you're the only true soul that has your best interests
Completely.
because you know yourself throughout. Like you can recall history and like just now, I recognize that. Wow, I have had a codependent relationship for self-worth through my phone since I received a freaking cell phone in 2006.
Yeah. It's so great to look at, right? And to like just be so honest with ourselves about these things.
Yes.
And I love that you brought up self-worth, because I was thinking the same thing about my thing. I'm like, how have I been living at the level of self-worth where I haven't thought that sleep was all that necessary. Right? It's like when you decide like, all right, this thing that I've been doing out of habit, this very inconvenient and potentially painful thing that I've just been letting happen, the more you kind of invest in yourself, you're like, wait a minute, I deserve a full night's sleep every night of my life.
And you experience what that is.
Yeah, and like
that's how it feels.
wait a minute, I deserve validation to be sourced internally. Like, I'm at that level now where that's a need, right? So these things unfold in the timing that they're supposed to, but it can be really like jaw-dropping when you're like, how long have I endured this habit that hasn't been the greatest?
Right? And something else is coming up for me. Before the phone, I was on the computer.
Yeah, exactly. The instant messaging and the
AOL. So
AOL.
technology, right? The connection to other people to feel worthy.
Mhm.
I signed up on all the popular freaking sites. Xanga, Asian Avenue, like Find a Pic.
I even heard about these things.
I was all up on it, and it's kind of like, it is jaw-dropping and kind of like disheartening, realizing how much we were already tuned into getting self-worth online.
Mhm.
Like Find a Pic, if anyone remembers Find a Pic or Find a Pix, I think it's with that PIX, people rate you on there from 1 to 10. Isn't that fucking sick?
Yeah.
So you would wait for these comments from these men giving you dimes.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
Right? And then the person who I ended up dating for 5 years, he reached out to me on there.
Oh, that's how he came in.
Yeah, but he sent me a nice message than just, I give you a dime because all of this.
Same.
So genuine. Anyways, crazy.
Well, but the upside of Quinn's social media addiction is she knows everything about social media.
Yes, I
So if you have any questions, she's just such an amazing resource for like, how do you use this feature, and like, how do I use this tool, and what if I needed? Yeah.
Yes,
You're pretty great at that.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that up, because it's like I did learn some great tools, and though it is the practice of awareness, which voice recording has allowed me to do, to really like, okay, well, even on the way here, I was recording, I'm like, Quinn, it's like a prep talk to yourself and allowing what's not working to come up in your conversations with self all the time. Like, let's talk about it. Just like in intimate relationships, what's blocking from you two to flow, you are not talking about what's not working. And sometimes we need to talk to ourselves because you realize they're not safe. There's too many fires. So you still need to go talk to yourself, because you can at least be in control of providing yourself a safe space to just express it, talk about it.
Absolutely.
Or get a coach, right? Like somebody safe, or yourself, to provide yourself that safe space to discuss and process.
Yeah,
so
do you
juicy.
see how communication is the solution for both of our problems, right?
Right?
Like, I had to communicate about my problem with people who are really smart and are creative thinkers in ways that are filling in gaps that my brain doesn't have, right? And you had to communicate with yourself more.
Yeah.
And so one of my friends who's a health coach and just like really smart person about the body, he talks a lot about how all the diseases of the world stem from one problem, which is a lack of communication between the cells. And so like in love and health and body and everything, like generally the key is communication on some level. It's either internal, external, like there's some lack of communication that's happening, and the result of that is issues.
Boom. Like, this is so good. Like, we're vocalizing what we've been living with that's not working, and we were able to find the light of the tunnel, like answers and like breakthroughs and aha moments through continuing to discuss. So if you are someone who needs support on this, we have a very in-depth, guided, loving process tonight at 6:30. We still have spots left, like very little, because we're trying to keep it like minimum, max like 8, 10 people max, but we're almost full. So it's tonight at 6:30. Pacific Standard Time. Hi, Susan. She says, I love this. Yeah. So happy that you found us. And anyone else that's watching, please say hi where you're tuning in from. And we're so happy to serve you all and sharing, like, what we share for us, perhaps, I mean, most of the time we're going to be able to relate. We're going to be able to help each other out, right? And gain resources from each other and tools. So for those of you who already got your spot for tonight, we'll see you tonight. And if you haven't, we still have spots left. And then we do Meditate and Conversate, which is a donation-based meditation session, basically, every Thursday at 1:30. This is all virtual, Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah,
Pacific Standard Time also, yeah.
If you're interested in our meditation, you can go to our website, selfloveexodus.com, and then there is a tab for Meditate and Conversate.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find the info there.
Yeah, and if you don't want to miss out on our workshops, you can sign up for, I forgot what it says, but our newsletter. It'll be really obvious. Just sign up, and then you're on the list. And I believe that's the only email that we send out about our workshops.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you'll get
Minimal.
notified. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, that was so good.
Yeah,
We're just going to end it there. Thanks for tuning in. Hi,
Computer
Susan.
dice.
Yeah, computer dice. Hi, Susan. Hi, Pablo. Hi, everyone else that's watching on Instagram and Facebook. All right.
Mwah.
Bye. Thanks for tuning in. Oh, and hi, Zainab. Hi, Tara. And hi, Lisa.
Oh,
Yeah.